Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to STEM with the Kieno. I'm KienoThomas. I had a video request from one of my subscribers, Ezeikel Eagle. He has a home-built simulator, and he is planning a trip from Edinburgh, which is Echo Golf Papa Hotel, right there, to Glasgow. All right. All this is the United Kingdom. So basically, I was going to do the whole trip, but due to time constraints, I was not able to. But basically, all you're going to do is you're going to leave here and you're going to fly directly to the VOR. That's exactly how you file it. Okay, so it will be direct Glasgow VOR, which is on a frequency of 115.4, or let's say it like a pilot, 115.4. Let's zoom in a little bit and take a look. So we can see 115.4, we can see the VOR there, we can also see the NDB, and this NDB concerns the question, or the reason why you wanted me to shoot the NDB approach. So a couple things. What you would need to do if you were doing this in real life is, I'm concerned about some special use airspace areas, namely there, here, 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 and here. So, if I was doing a VFR trip, okay, I would definitely make sure, well, you got one up there too, but as long as you stay positioned over the water, you should be okay. Or on the north side of this landmass, you should be alright, and you should not come into contact with that special use airspace. If you're IFR, they're going to keep you away from it anyway. So you would be radar vector. But another thing that you do want to keep in mind is you want to look at the air-ground communications panel, and you want to see what the active times are and altitudes for these what am I trying to say? For these special use airspaces. Okay. Another thing, you got some more special use airspace. Let's see here. Let's look. All right. So this is surface to 6,000. All right. So this is a surface to 6,000, and these may not even start till 6,000. So, but these little blocks of airspace, I would definitely look at the sectional chart. And another thing that I recommend, shout out to skyvector.com. Skyvector.com. They have every chart you could dream of, man. IFR, VFR, TSA, TCA chart. So there you go. So the special use airspaces are what I would be concerned about flying these areas. Okay, now also you got some like mountainous terrain or higher elevation terrain like around here and stuff. So basically what I decided to do, since I had time constraints, was to just kind of give you an operational look at your trip, and go directly to the actual instrument approach plate. And I actually, okay, this is Glasgow. There's a VOR in the field. We talked about that 115.4, and then we have the Morse code. You will see me ident that in the video. You will also see me ident or ID the NDB that is a part of this approach. Okay, this is the facility that gets you down. So you definitely want to ident, listen to the Morse code. Make sure it's not in the Morse code called test, because if you hear 4 sets of tones, then it's probably in test and under maintenance. Okay, what else? Frequencies. That's Edinburgh, your departure. I guess we'll pause here. We'll come back here. Okay, because you're leaving Edinburgh. So these are real world frequencies. They work. I checked them out. They do work. So you're not going to be using approach. It will probably be departure that you will be on. ATIS 131.35, that's the Automatic Terminal Information Service. Ground control is on 121.75. The tower is on 118.7. So when you're flying this trip, those are frequencies that you will definitely need. I've also put in here, what else? And you can pause and you can look at these and you can screen clip them. I don't care. But Edinburgh, Glasgow. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about this approach. Now, what I've done is I am going to shoot two approaches because the reason why is because I have a little philosophy about precision and non-precision approaches. Here's my philosophy. We have to know how to fly non-precision approaches. But am I going to be using them am I going to be using a non-precision approach if I have a precision approach? Well, a couple of circumstances. If I have not had the opportunity to shoot a non-precision approach in a long time, then yes, I'm going to shoot a non-precision approach because I want to stay current. And if the instrument landing system or any other precision approach fails, then I still need to be very well versed in non-precision approaches. But if I've been kind of getting it in as far as my non-precision approaches, then I'm just going to shoot the ILS. I'm going to take the path of least resistance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot the non-precision approach. And then I'm just going to take off, reverse course. I'm going to put us back out there. Okay, and we won't be talking to the tower. We'll just kind of be doing it by hand. And, you know, like, we'll just shoot the ILS, and you will see how much smoother it is. Okay. So, a couple things you need. And I'm going to email these plates to you. Okay, so you have them, Ezeikel. First, you have your ATIS frequency. You will need that, 129.57. Glasgow approach, 119.10. It's the real frequency. The towers are on 118.8, and ground control is on 121.7. All right. Missed approach procedures are there. They're pretty simple. All right. We have a profile or a plan view here, which is like a bird's eye view. Okay, so the airport is right here. The NDB is right there. The VOR and ILS are all there, and the frequencies are installed here on this picture. Now, what I'll do with the first trip is I'm just going to fly out and I'm going to turn around. I'm going to do something called an 8260 maneuver to reverse course. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly here over the airport, and I'm going to fly outbound on the 212 bearing. All right. And basically, I'm going to fly this out. I'm going to take the Charlie Cat Delta side. I could go for the inside, but I'm going to take this one. This is the one I'm going to choose. And I'm going to fly this out to about 9.6 or actually 10 DME. And then I'm just going to reverse course, and I'm going to fly the NDB back into the field. I'm going to do a low pass. I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to shoot the ILS approach. Now, at a glance, looking at this, if, you know, I'm just like, okay, we're going to shoot the NDB, because the only reason why I'd be shooting the NDB, if the airplane had the equipment and the facilities on the field had the equipment, is because maybe the glide slope broke. And then I would shoot the localizer approach probably. And the localizer approach is probably a lot better than an NDB approach. It's a little bit more precise. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to swing ourselves out. This is a side view. Okay, this is the runway right there, or the airport, and then this is the side view. So we'll be out here somewhere in space to the south, west of the field. All right, I'll probably come in something like 3,000 or something like that. But before we hit 9.6, we'll be cleared down to 2,400. We may not flow any lower than that. After we pass 9.6, we can come down to 2,090 feet. I would not pick 2,090 feet. I would probably pick 2,100 because I always like to give myself some cushion. All right. You could have, I don't know, engine failure or something like that. If you lose a little bit of altitude, then hey, you're in this bad area. So I, just kind of always believe in keeping a little space cushion. Okay, after we get here, we will be at 6.3. And we will be cleared to descend down to 1030 but I would use 1100. All right, again, the space cushion. Then after this, after we get to 2.7 DME, then we clear down to the minimum descent altitude. Now, if we're coming straight in for runway 5, we can come down to 540 feet. 540 feet. That's for the straight in. All right. If we are going to circle to land to another airport, then we may not descend any lower than 800. My approach speed should be somewhere around 100 knots. So we should not come down any lower than 800 feet if we're going to circle to land. If we're going straight in for runway 5, then we can come down to 540 feet indicated altitude. And we make sure that our altimeter setting is good. So this is the Glasgow NDB DME runway 5. So we need NDB and we need DME. Now what I do is I back it up with an ILS if I'm shooting that approach, and the ILS gives me distance information to the field, and so that's what I measure my 9.6, 6.3, and 2.7 by. All right, so that's basically it, man, in a nutshell. I will send you all of these files to your email. I have your email. I'll send you all these files because you may want to turn around and shoot an approach back into Edinburgh. That's really, really good practice. Okay, so and again, here is the instrument map, the low altitude and route chart. Here's Edinburgh. Here's Glasgow. The green little, they look like little, almost like crosshair symbols and everything, and you can see the special use airspaces that we talked about. The low altitude and route chart also has an air-ground communications panel and special use airspace panel that you can look at and find these same special use airspaces on. Okay, so I will send you these files, and I hope you enjoyed the video, sir. So shout out to Ezeikel Eagle in Johannesburg. And hey, thanks for your request, man, and thanks for being a sub and watching my videos, man. Talk to you. You will get all of these files in your email. Now to the simulator. Bye-bye. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is KienoThomas, and welcome to STEMwithKieno.com. I am KienoThomas. I'm the instructor today. Today, we are going to satisfy a video request from Ezeikel Eagle, one of my subscribers from Johannesburg. Basically, what we're going to be doing is shooting the non-precision approach, NDB runway 5, into Glasgow Airport in the United Kingdom. Now, I was originally going to do like a full trip, but I had some time constraints with my schedule and stuff, and so I'm just going to shoot it right from the actual airport. So what I'm going to do, if you guys have the approach plate, and I'm going to email this to you, Ezeikel. I'm going to email you the approach plate, the NDB5 approach plate. But basically what I'm going to do is I am going to I'm going to do the missed approach. So we're going to simulate, all right, from this point, we've come down to our minimum descent altitude. We did not have the runway in sight. And so what we're going to do is climb out and basically, you know what I'm going to do? We won't do that. I'm going to shoot out, go to 3,000 feet, and then I'm going to turn around and re-engage the non-directional beacon. Then what I'm going to do is shoot the procedure. So in this case, Glasgow NDB will be the initial approach fix, labeled IAF, India Alpha Foxtrot, on the approach plate. Okay, so the initial approach fix will be Glasgow. We'll fly outbound on the 212 bearing of that facility, and we're going to back it up also with the ILS. So let's get in the airplane, and for the setup, the Regular cockpit view is probably just a lot better to get things going. Alright, so we're going to pull up our radios and we're going to look at the Morse code, and we're going to go to nav 1. We're going to set up the ILS there, 110.1. We'll swap that. So this is the standby and this is the active, 110.1. We'll go ahead and move our course selector. It's about 054 degrees, which is the final approach course. And I set up a really nasty, rainy, wet day. And put this in there, put the heading bug in there, line that up. Alright, and what we'll do is we'll go ahead and identify this frequency and make sure that the Morse code is good. While we're waiting for that, set up the ADF. Okay, so that is good. ID the ADF. So what we're doing when we're listening to those beeps and tones, the Morse code, we're looking at the actual publication, which is the instrument approach plate, and we're looking at the Morse code, and everything checks good. Everything is good there. Alright, so we're good to go. We're going to put in 3,000. A little bit too much. $3,000. Heading bug set. Okay, we'll just sit him over here. Okay, and we're good to go. We're off. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Airspeed is live. Yeah, this control's a little bit sticky. Positive rate. Real nasty day out there. We got about 3 miles visibility and 600 overcast. I'm sorry, broken cloud layer at 600. So let's zoom on in. All right. So basically we're just flying straight out. We're going to climb it, bring it up to 3,000. Which time I'm going to do something called an 80-260 maneuver, which is going to be a standard rate turn to the left 80 degrees, and then 260 will bring me back to a reverse course. So constantly we're doing like a little T-scan, making sure that start with the attitude indicator. The attitude indicator showing a slight climb. We're cross-checking, and we're coming up. We come back to the attitude indicator, and then we float over to the altimeter. That confirms the climb that's in the attitude indicator. Our heading is not changing. We cross-check that with the electrically powered gyro. The turn coordinator is not indicating a turn, and we back up and support with our vertical speed indicator indicating a climb, backing up what the altimeter says, and we're looking good. 1.9 for 3,000. Now our ADF is here. This points our tail that we can actually okay, we can't flip that. Okay, sounds like we're out of the rain there. Okay, 700 feet. $200 feet to go. Now we're going to use it's much easier to use 060 as our reference heading. Alright, so we're going to do a (80-260) maneuver that will help us reverse course, level of 3,000. So we're 80. How do we calculate 80? Alright, 6 to north is 60, and 2 more will be 340. So we'll execute our standard rate turn, bring it around to 340, and as soon as we get there, we're going to immediately roll around 260 degrees to the right, and I will explain this. This is a pretty cool maneuver you can use for course reversal. Okay, here comes the rollout, and we're right about there, and then what we'll do is we'll just roll it around. Now what we're looking for is our course reversal, and we should have that NDB right in front of us when we roll out. Let's see if it works. So 050, the reciprocal is 230, so around 230, when we roll out on 230, we should be, this ADF needle should be on our 12 o'clock position. If not, we'll go ahead and we'll make our adjustments at that point. There's nothing really to see outside. We look outside, there's really, it's all pretty much low visibility, so This is instrument flying. Okay, and it looks like we're coming up on that localizer pretty quick, so we got pretty close. Pretty close. Yeah, that's pretty good. Like people say, not bad for government work. And I'm just cross-checking with the localizer. So now when we roll out, alright, we're 14.7 miles roughly away from the field, and the NDB is on the field. Alright, so this automatic direction finder is slightly to the right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to correct 10 degrees to 245. Let's use 215. We'll correct 215. And basically what we're doing is we're getting our miniature airplane, like just imagine this being the bearing that we want to be on. We're kind of overcorrecting to the right so that we drift and that this needle drags a little bit to the left a little bit more, so that when we come back to 230 it's in our 12 o'clock position. So we want to try to have that worked out by the time we get back. And we're seeing a little slight movement. We got room, we got space. We're 11.7 from the field. Okay, so now let's check it out. Let's see if we have any correction. We're going to come back to 230 and see and just check our correction. Real small changes, nothing really big. So when we roll out, we see where we are, and look at that. The NDB is basically right in front of us, like we want it. So we saw the correction. We're on the bearing that we want to be. We want to exit on the 212, and we're going to fly that out to Glasgow intersection and 10 DME. So basically, all we're doing is we're just flying straight ahead. The needle may drift to the right a little bit like it's doing, so I'll make small, like 3-degree adjustments in the on the heading bug. Now, if we make the adjustment and it's in front of us, then I might add 3 more degrees, just to kind of get. There may be some winds going on or something, but basically we're pretty much if we're 3 degrees off, that's really not that bad for aircraft moving damn near 200 knots. It's pretty good accuracy if you ask me, but who am I? Alright, so I will kick in 1, 2, 3 degrees. Alright, 6 miles now. 6 miles to go. And we want to leave on the 212. On the 212, and then we'll track that out as well. So the correction that we have, it's in the front of us. We apply the same. We apply the same principle to the tail. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this up. So we come back to 230. We want that needle right in front of us. Okay. 4 miles to go now. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we'll put ourselves right over the station. Station passage is when this thing rolls around. When we get station passage, we're going to leave on the 212 radial. Two miles now. Let's take a look outside. Okay, 2.1 miles, and we're just kind of holding for station passage. Station's like right in front of us pretty much, and it's going to flip around any moment now. And then we're going to take a heading of 212. And then we are going to track outbound, and we're going to track that for, according to the approach plate, looks like 10 miles. Okay, the instrument landing system's flipped, and here we go. Our station passage is starting to occur. I'll wait for the 90-degree mark. Okay, there we go. All right, left 212. So we'll bring it to 21, and we just bring it 1, 2, left a couple clicks. Now we're at 212, and the station is pretty much right behind us on our tail, and that's pretty cool. Now if it drops to, if it moves to the left, we're gonna correct left so that we drag the needle that way. Alright. And what you could do in order to get a better concept of what's going on here, you could get the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge, and it tells you can read the section about ADF, the automatic direction finder, and NDB navigation. Alright, so we are 3.3 now for 10. Now normally in real life we would probably be radar vector, so we'd be simulating a radar vectoring. We probably would not be flying this procedure like this. More than likely what we would be doing is we would be doing it for like the missed approach, holding on the NDB. I think I'm going to do a couple videos about that, but right now we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good. 4.6 miles to go. Now there's an outer procedure. I took the outer procedure, so what I'm going to have to do is make some adjustments, but that's okay. I'm on the Cat Charlie and Delta ring. There's two different rings, and then there's a Cat Alpha and Bravo. I should have took the Cat Alpha and Bravo, but that's alright. We're moving at a pretty good clip. Alright, the station, we're 212, and the station is directly behind us. So that tells me I'm on the you got to think of it like a VOR. The VOR has radials, so if we pretend that the NDB has radials, we're on the 212 outbound radial. NDBs don't have radials, but what I'm just saying is, figuratively speaking. Alright, 8.2 miles now for 10. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to bring it around like we talked about in the briefing. And 9 miles, we got 1 mile to go. This is going to go pretty quick at almost about 180 knots. Okay, 10 miles coming in right about 0.3 miles. Okay, there's 10 miles. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring ourselves around. Now, we're going to pretend that the air traffic controller is vectoring us around. Alright, so we're going to bring it around. Okay, and our important distances for the DME part is 9.6, 6.3, 2.7, and 0.6 DME. So that's 9.6 DME. We can step down to, we're going to say 2100, but it's 2090. But we always give ourselves a space cushion so we don't bust the minimums. 6.3, after we get there, we can step down to 1030, but we're going to use 1100. And then the minimum descent altitude is 540. Alright, so we're bringing it around. The air traffic controller is bringing us around. November 71 Foxtrot Sierra, turn right heading 330. That's what the controller will be telling us now. So we're bringing it around to 330, and we're almost there at 3000. Okay. Okay, and we are going to assume that the air traffic controller gives us a heading of 090. So the controller would say November 7-1 Foxtrot Sierra Glasgow approach. Turn right heading 090. Send and maintain 2,400. Maintain 2,400 until established, and contact tower blah 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 blah. Whatever the tower frequency is. Okay, so we're going to get our cut into the final approach course, and so we're going to start bringing the power back. $2,400 until established. Stepping on down. Okay, we're within 9.6, so we can come down. We're not established, so just hold the phone. Okay, the NDB is right about there. 055. Let's go ahead and put that correction in. We're pretty much right on point. Now we are not using a localizer. We're using NDB. That is what we're using to get us down. Okay, so we are 7 point something, but not at 6.3. So we're good for 2100. Okay, the NDB is right in front of us, and we are 6.4. Got to get us down to 1100. A little rain there. Okay, we're in 6.3, cleared down to 1100. So at this point, we would be talking to tower about it at this point, and Glasgow Tower, November 7-1 Foxtrot Sierra. So on the NDB 5, approach runway 5. Okay, a little bit of correction to the right. Speed checks for flaps. Get some drag going. Okay, 4.2 now. 2.7 will get us down to our NDB, so we're 4 miles for 2.7 miles, which is basically a little bit under 3, and down to 1100. All right. Waiting for 2.7. Needle is stabilized, man. I love it. I love it when a plane comes together. Now, notice this is the non-precision approach. This is the precision approach. I'm just showing you the difference. Okay, waiting for 2.7, 0.2, and that'll give us down to 540. But we're only going to set 550. 2.7 down to 550. Actually, I'm going to use 6 because we should be visual by now. Or by then. 600 overcast. Actually, I have the runway in sight. Okay, let's get our heads up. We are visual, visual, visual. Okay, so you know it goes pretty fast, and you know, it is a non-precision approach. The ILS is way, way smoother. Way, way smoother. Okay, coming on back down to Mother Earth. I gotta check. I gotta change the sensitivity on this. Wow. Matter of fact, autopilot up to Alright, and this one, on this one, we're going to shoot the ILS approach. Excuse me, because like I said in the briefing, if I have my choice between a precision or a non-precision approach, I'm going to go precision all the way because it's going to get me down and I don't have to go through all those step-down fixes and everything. So all I'm doing is just pretty much flying a racetrack pattern at this point. We are going to get ourselves up to 3,000 and we'll see how the instrument landing system is the better option if you have it available. Depends on the facilities at the airport and what you have on board your aircraft. So basically we're kind of sort of flying almost like a reciprocal heading. Back up to 3,000. Okay, we're almost to beam the approach numbers. How do I know? Because the NDB is on the field and we're rolling out around 230 and the ADF is showing the NDB to be like almost in the 3 o'clock position. So for situational awareness, it's always good to know where you are in the approach. Always know where you are in the approach. In case you have some type of in-flight emergency or something like that, you know, you want to know where you are because you can't. There's really not a whole heck of a lot to look at or visual cues outside. All right, so 700 feet to go. Glide slope is dropping down for us. Also, we know that we're on the to side of things because the to from indicator has flipped on the horizontal situation indicator. And shout out to Joe Blazenstein. He would always say, what did he say? He would always say the VOR or the VOR, and really the ILS is like a VOR. They're very self-centered. They tell you where you are in relation to them. So I know that it is behind me, and I know that I am to the right of course. Okay, and I have 054 set up here. 055. Okay, 054. Okay, and we'll go ahead and we will ident. $3,000. Pull our power back. We don't need to go that fast. Yeah, we don't need to be that fast. We'll go to the bottom. Well, not yet. We'll set the manifold pressure for 20. Okay, the Morse code checks on the instrument landing system. We are good to go. Okay, so now we popped out at 540. I didn't really do a brief on the decision height because the decision height. Now the lowest height, we call the lowest height we can come down to, is a minimum descent altitude. On an instrument landing system, it is a decision height. Now, a couple things. I didn't even brief on the approach. You would brief on the approach in real life, but I didn't look at the ILS 5. I know that the ILS frequency is 110.0, and the ILS gets us down way below the minimum descent altitude. So we are going to have a visual. My only thing is to demonstrate how much smoother this goes on an instrument or a precision instrument approach. The NDB 5 that we just shot is a non-precision approach. So, you know, like I said, if I have my choice, I'm going with the more precise approach. And you will see how much easier and how things just kind of just go just a whole heck of a lot smoother. Okay, currently 8.6, 8.7. We're going to push it out just a little bit more. Pull that power down. That manifold pressure crept up on us a little bit. And I just want to be near the gear extension. I want to be in the gear extension speed regime when I come around. All right, 10 miles. That's good enough. All right, so we're going to simulate that the air traffic controller says November 715 Foxtrot Sierra, turn right heading 330. And we say 330, 71 Foxtrot Sierra, or since we've already introduced ourselves, we could just say 1 Foxtrot Sierra, because I've already come on and talked to approach control and checked in with them, and they understand that my intentions are to be shooting the ILS 5 approach into Glasgow. So after that, I can just say 1 Foxtrot Sierra when they say turn right headed 330, and I'll say turn right headed 330, just the last 3 digits, 1 Foxtrot Sierra. Okay, we're going to get some drag going. Landing gear extended, down and locked. 3 green. Alright, bring this around. And we're going to assume 030. And then set this thing up for the approach. And get our speed down into the wide arc. Get it down in the wide arc. Airspeed is in the wide arc. Speed checks. Approach flaps. Okay, so we don't have to worry about any step down altitudes or step down fixes and minimum altitudes or minimum descent altitudes. At this point, all we need to do is keep our glide slope in check. We don't want our glide slope too far high, which means we'll be below glide slope, and we don't want it too far low, which means we will be above glide slope. And let's see here. We are correcting. We're slightly left, of course. We're on glide slope. Nice gentle descent. We're not like, how far are we? Okay, we can come down. How far are we? How can we come down? So it's a much more relaxed approach. It's more precise. Slightly left of course, correcting. Glide slope good. Real nice and easy, gentle descent. Another thing, non-precision approaches probably are not really that great for people that don't fly, meaning your passengers. So, you know, you have to be really, really extra smooth. The ILS is just real nice and easy. You can just see me just a nice, gentle, steady descent, and it's not disturbing your passengers. If you're flying cargo, that doesn't matter. Cargo's great. No medical emergencies, nobody gets sick, nobody's scared. Just don't get flight attendants. Okay. Right on our blue line. Now typically ILS will bring us down, so we'll just kind of pretend. Okay, there is a broken layer 600, so we will not see anything at this point. And this is a really smooth platform to use in the Microsoft Flight Simulator. Very smooth platform. Coming on down. Now we should be popping out on the bottom side of the clouds in about 500 feet. So we just use that as our reference. So we are 500 feet to visual contact. Blue line, gear down to stabilized. 400 feet to visual. Nice and easy. .300 feet to visual. .200 feet to visual. .100 to visual, but I got it now. Alright, but you stay on that ILS. You stay on the ILS because you go visual, you look up, you pop back into another cloud, then you're possibly disoriented. So you stay on it. I'm going to stay on it to about 300 feet. 2 to go. One to go. I can see it in my peripheral. I know it's there, and I am 300 feet above the cloud bases. And so I can look up now, slightly above glide path. We got the runway made. Final flaps. Disengage. This stick is kind of. There we go. There we go. That was nice. But this joystick is a little bit. I need to recalibrate it. But we got the approach out of the way. All right. So Ezeikel Eagle. I hope you liked it, my brother. Hope you liked it. Just clear the runway. Okay, we're clear the runway. First thing we do is we come to a full stop and clean up the airplane. Flaps come up, landing lights come off, taxi lights come on. I did mention the flaps, and we switched our ground control frequency. So, I hope you guys like the briefing. I hope you guys like the demonstration. If anybody wants me to do an instrument approach procedure, anywhere, I can virtually do an instrument approach procedure, a real world approach procedure. I'll do a briefing on it, and just like Ezeikel, he wanted me to do the NDB 5 into Glasgow. So welcome to Glasgow Airport in the United Kingdom. This is KienoThomas with STEMwithKieno.com. Check out the site if you need any military test prep, Federal Aviation Federal Aviation Administration test prep, private pilot through airline transport pilot. I'm the man for the job. Oh, and also meet us every Friday night, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. every Friday Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. I always do a live stream and address math, Federal Aviation Administration questions, and military aptitude test questions. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share on your social media networks. Talk to you later.